Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
Sana we anyo kowenyo.
Ah, Julitea.
On me dit oh mon oncle no we aoba.
Papa Morel.
Foyo ibebi oh Tony Nathalie Gioba.
Mon passe
Kala jele biago dako Isabelle yoba. Ike Michel agbewe. Cléo Nathalie Gio mon oncle no we aoba. Keru Deborah we Jean Thérèse.
Pauni baso mono suta mube o wadewa. Ara luki. Pauni baso mono suta mube o klo. Ani abia sogo abaira. Konu kwedu sialuwe, na chiawe sialuwe bo biewe na. Yegbere klaluwe sedre nyokonwo. Wa ko isi agbole la tu osu anu ni wele. Ifowo so wa ke no ko di fo awe mo na da fi o sonwe ye. Tamo bien do mo igwe o to wa jeje o mama. Ko ne ko mewe, anu se agbole la tu osu anu ni wele. Mo jo si awe pa nyokun wa nu trouble de. Jamuri pote wa o lo yo. Tutu pote wa o. Onu lo yo duwe, popo we de mo. Kona se agbole la tu osu anu ni wele. Wela nyoma komasi muwe mwako rima njuzula ne manyowe. Monje tela nyoma o, monsu ina yo, monje tiama nyoma na monwa uruo. Monje che ada nyoma na monsu ina yo. Wela juru awa o, ya luigi pote wa o. Wela nyoma jagwe muwe luigi pote wa o. Atati pote wa o. Ola nyoma kwa wedemo o. Ona te gbole la tu wazu wenu ni were. Nigba so en soko ta mu fe o. Odi ke fe. Ma de. So wi gelo. Bebe kari, le se asko du so awlo gbenti. La fino. Ase idawe ma. E de odi. Yala Stéphanie. C'est de l'Côte d'Ivoire. Moi ouais. Moboko we danwe, ona se bole la tu azu elu ni we. Era di gba so en lo yo su ta mu fe o. Jamuri pote wa o, peri juju pote wa o.
Ni montagne ba mu.
Ni pe ya bu sogo iba idi. Boko we danwe o, wa kuma ye nyamu o. Boko we danwe salu wa kuma ye nyamu o. Nje lo yo ju we ba ka Nigeria oda. Je nyombo ye mono Nigeria oda. We are going nyamu, mombo kwa we dem so we are going nyamu.
Nous appelle que non José que wa no lo yondai. Je suis et Sablo, des filo de Kela. Le metan e podai. Mo dudu e mo popo ya bi. De Rosette ne.
Boko we danwe o gan le nyamu. Boko we danwe o gan le nyamu. Mamantei loki o, ne se kowenyo, ne se kowenyo. I don't think you, ne se kowenyo, ne se kowenyo. Kowadani ne se kobe.
Bagno Julien.
Ile onoligi o, ne se kowenyo.
Nyoma joya mo bangu.
Kondubuze, ne po ya bie. Kondubue, ne po amiga.
Martino de Martino.
Yes, I been there, you, ne se kowenyo.
Maman Thierry Florence. Son Catherine.
On get a day, Jenny, and you se kowenyo.
Angèle Founé-Bleka.
Anu bagba dilegio na popo ya bimbo.
Inana Colette.
Ah na we anyo.
Mate Hélène. La de Joséphine.
Sa na we anyo le ole. Ah ole o. Tamo abriga mwe mwe wo.
Ah, maman Taylor.
Petit juzo na be kwa mwe wo.
Ya kwe wa na. Bailo
Ola
Rufina.
ko se bo be be dani e. Me boni
Ok, petit Yusuke, ça bloqué. Collègue, on s'entend pas. Ah, Julie Théa. Papa Morel. On passe.
Good evening, good evening. Let me start all over. Good evening, folks. Samson to La Reparito. I want to thank all of you tonight again. Let me fix myself neatly here. I want to thank all of you again tonight for tuning in to La Reparito, where we're here to talk a wonderful, wonderful conversation with you. Thank you, thank you. It's some serious conversation that's going to be happening tonight. We're on it. We're on it. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Please share this video to as many brothers and sisters as you can, because we want them to be part of this process here, to be able to join us so we can have a conversation about our country. This is all Liberia, nothing else but Liberia. Join us. Share this video as you join. Share this video. Share this video, folks. It's important that we do share this video because we want all of us to support. And I know I can say all of us love Liberia. Nobody is outside of that. And I want to say that. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much for sharing tonight. We appreciate it. We appreciate all of the things that you do here on LPR. Thank you. So let's go ahead and, but I'm not getting what I'm looking for. Ah, no, that's not it. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay. That's not what I'm looking. Okay. All right, let's go now. Let's try this. All right. Okay, folks, Samson to Labra Pabrito. I will be going back and forth here. Please, it's not sign of disrespect. I'm just doing more thing here that we do here, and we try to do it the right way here tonight. We'll do our best. We'll do our best. I want people, those of you that will be watching this video later on, when it shares somebody's, and my tie doesn't look like what I want it to be tonight, I might have to go off and come back. You know me. I don't have no shame fear here. If my tie keep giving me a hard time, I gotta call myself and come back. I want to look neat for you. But anyhow, look, on a very serious note, when we come here to share these things, I don't have a producer. I do everything. I have to move this mouse around, arrange all of the show, arrange all of the topics. So now it take us 1 hour just to come and bring you the show. We have to do it ourselves. So when I come out here, I have to when I play the music while I'm playing the music, it gives me time to organize the rest of the show. So those of you that are going to be watching the show later on, please don't get upset and think that why is he playing crowd music? Okay? I'm playing crumb. There's a young man here called Nakamu. He sent me music most of the time. Pella music I play it. So if you like whatever music you want me to play that you're gonna like, if it's Queen music, we'll not play it because when we play Facebook, we'll kick her out. If it's music, what a young man then put black on from YouTube, you let her play, they will kick her out. Send me some of the country music that you want. Because our country people, they don't care whether you play or you don't play, they like it. They don't charge you. They don't go making problem. Okay? So when I come out here and play the crowd music, it gives me the time to set up and arrange and everything because I'm my own producer. I do everything here. When I come here, I have to move the mouse on. There's another laptop on the side that I have to bring other contents, subject contents that I want to discuss, just so that I will be able to give you credible information. So don't get upset when you see crowd music playing because I'm not a crowd man. So I'm not gonna hide from that. Okay, I'll continue. This thing, you'll soon see me. I'll take it out just now. I'll go wear my African. They have quick business. They got neck time, all that kind of thing. I say, they do the thing. They're the big boy. Yeah, I'm big boy. Okay. Oh man, nah, I don't need to wear the. But I still have competition with Sissy. Sissy myself running competition. That I can. Yeah. Is that true now? Go 40 minutes, go put 40 minutes so that and see how Sissy will drag you in the mud. No, folks on a very serious note. So if you see these things are playing, don't get upset. And we do these things to arrange ourselves so that when we come on air, we're ready to present to you. Okay. But for some reason you don't like crowd music and something is bothering you and you're agitated, just say click and you're out. Ah, says Orida, thank you, thank you. I love you to be here. You just say click and you're out. You don't need to say anything to anybody. Because when you say those things, they come back to us and it's discouraging. Okay? Why you might not like crowd music, other people like crowd music. But if you like, I'm saying it again, any of you listening to me, and if you want me, because I will play music, I don't have a producer. My son refused to be my producer. He can sit behind here. I sit in front. Oh, Fatima, thank you, my sister. Thank you for joining. I can sit in front, behind it. He sit behind the camera. I stay here, and he moved, bounce around. We did it one time. He said, "No, Dad, I don't want to do this again." So I have to do it myself. Yeah, my mouse. Yeah, my keyboard down here. You see it? Yeah, the other mouse. Yeah, the camera here. Yeah, the lighting. I have to connect all of those things before I can come on air. So when I'm playing the crowd music, it takes about 10, 15 minutes for the crowd music to come on. Then in the meantime, I prepare the content that I'm going to be discussing. I send link to other panelists to join me. I can't do all of that at once. I have to take my so I don't want to come here and you're watching me, nothing doing. I just going there doing my stuff and doing. How will you feel if I come out here and just moving things around? You don't hear no sound from it. You don't hear anything. That's for me. That's a sign of disrespect, and I don't want to do that. So I'm saying it again to our brothers and sisters that perhaps might be air not come on. Thank you for coming. So thank you. Now you should send me music. He sent me music. So he sent me. You should send me some of the best music. Since I moved my computer, then I don't want to say it because I don't want to pick no feedback. I can't find that. I can't find no music. I can't find no music. One of the music that I used to play every day. I say I can't find it again. But he said you will find some more for me. So please don't get upset. You don't enjoy our show. Safety, safety, Lord Jesus. We want to thank you again this evening. As we come before you, my Lord, we ask you, those brothers and sisters that are not in good health tonight, be the helper. Those brothers and sisters that are not well tonight, be the medicine. Oh, yes, you are able. You are the able God. We know that. Because of you, we are here. Because of the light you provide for all we can see, even if our eyeball open kolo kolo, we still can't see until you tell us to see. Oh, my Lord, with the power you have. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you do for us. Thank you for everything that you continue. Thank you for the opportunity that you have given us. We say to you, my Lord, help us, bless us, continue to bless us. We got two tables. One table here in the diaspora. We have another table back home. Food is supposed to be on the two table, but because of the blessing that you continue to give us, we are able to provide food for those two tables. Yes, yes. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you. We'll come again tonight, my Lord, as we always will do and continue to do, to say, bless the Republic of Liberia. Bless the people of the Republic of Liberia. Bless the President of the Republic of Liberia. Give him long life, extend his life. Whatever he touches in the interest of the Liberian people, my Lord, bless his hand. Whatever door he knocks in the interest of the Liberian people, open the door for him. You brought President Waka for us, guide him, hold his hand to do what is right for our people. We want to thank you for that. My Lord, we say again for our brothers and sisters that are yet to be fully whole and be part of us and join us, please provide that solace for us. You have the ability to do that. We ask that the host country, the United States of America, be blessed. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, I finished playing now, eh? Hmm. La tabata, go again, go, say, I guess not tabata, la tabata time. La tabata. Rescue one, rescue one, calling rescue two. I start right away because I got something tonight. Rescue one, calling rescue two right away. Hope you okay. I was going to say tango, tango. But they say I can't say. No, what they say I can't say? Is that tango, tango? Or, oh, 401. Whoop. Did I say 401? What? Why that other? That's not 401. 10-4. 10. Wow, 401. What the, what 401 got to do with it? Ah, my goodness, Samson, too. As you guys can see, we're going to have a good night tonight. 401. I just really pray God. I said 401. My goodness, God, please. But anyhow, let's go ahead. The president, as you all know, so why I can't hear anything on the one. The CDC phone they gave me like, and I'm working with my people. Hmm. They did the CDC phone. They did the CDC phone they gave me. They did go broke. It broke down. CDC, that one that part that different sound into gonna come there. That different sound into. But the phone CDC gave me and they're myself friend. They're myself with friend right now. But anyhow, let's go ahead, folks. President Buckeye, and in the interest of fairness, I supported President Buckeye. I still support them. They don't know me. I don't know them. They don't know who I am. I don't even know who they are. But I support him because I believe. Now, let me go a little bit backward, folks. Yeah, see problem. I tell you, they give me phone. They say I'm gonna be quiet, so I don't say bad thing about them anymore because they give me phone. So I can't say bad thing. CDC, the nice people, but but the liberal. But let's go. We'll be truthful. So let's go back a little bit on a very serious note. During the election, President we and CDC were in power for 6 years. And those of you that watched me a long time ago, years ago, I've always explained. When I was going to engineering school, everything was a little bit difficult. Working with married with two kids, working two jobs, going to school, go to work 1 hour, go to school 1 hour, come home 1 hour. So things a little. So I started coaching soccer because I used to play. So I started coaching high school soccer, one of the best high school in Canton, the richest high school in Canton, North Canton Hoover, where they make the Hoover vacuum cleaner. That the high school. So they pay me good money. Yeah, that's fine. I was enjoying it. But what I want to say here is the young kids that I was coaching at that time, President Weah was at the top. Opon was at the top. Every time we go to practice, the parent will bring newspaper to me, and you will see President Opon on the newspaper all over the world. They bring the newspaper. The question was, do you know him? No. When I left Liberia, President, we are still, man, I beg you, I don't know. People like Mike Gibson and Olens, Mike Gibson and myself, Mike Gibson, Subway, Gibson, Yawa. We all used to play at GW Gibson, that little basketball court. We're making the freedom ball stuff. So we used to play around town. But President, we were not there. He was a little baby. So in fact, when we used to play West Heston, President, we were not even at West Heston yet. But anyhow, so I said, no, I don't know him. When I left, he was still young man, but I know of him. These people used to bring pusawa to me. They call it parboiled rice. Because of President Weah, the people used to bring pusawa for me at the football at the practice ground. So because of President Weah name, the kids knows him, so they used to bring rice to me to eat. So President Weah, I can't say anything but the point that I was making then, because of my feeling and my love for President Weah, I cannot continue to allow Liberian people to suffer. I disagree with President Weah policy. I respected him. I knew all along since 2005 that he's always been cheated. That's my view. You can say whatever you want to say. So I agree that President Weah and his people been cheated. But his policy were not in the interest of the Liberian people. And so during the election, what were you expecting this liberal to do, my people? Because of Pusawa business, I'm gonna follow President Weah. Because of Pusawa, I'm gonna go and say, yeah, you bring President Weah and people buy. Samuel Twe that say he took 21 million people out of poverty that they want to bring back. Samuel Twe that say benevolent dictator that they want to bring back. That's why you all expect the liberal to sit down and campaign for President Weah? No, no. So when President Baka came in at that time, Ambassador Baka, and he started striking all of the good notes, things that he knew was good for Liberia, I threw my weight around President Baka. I got no choice. So what? Oh, 401, 491. Oh, okay. What choice do I have, my people? Tell me. What choice do I have? I have no other choice. So people used to call in, you from the southeast. Why you supporting somebody from Lofa? Why Lofa man gonna make Liberia better? And the person from southeast, tell the person from Town gonna bring Liberia down. I'm going with that. I'm going with the president from Lofa. That's always been my view. It's not about me. Yeah. President, because of President we had me, I use Ipusawa. But I can't go because I use Ipusawa. I follow President we are all the way. No, no, no. That's not how I do business. That's not how I do it. So the issue is this. I have always supported President Bakai during the election, Ambassador Bakai, and now that he's president, I still support him. I am not a unity, how do you call themselves? Unity party member. No, I got some of that document they wrote back in the days. If you read it, you will run away from unity party business. I will bring those out. But it is not about that. It is about the policy. Now let's look at this week. Let's look at this week. And I will just say some stuff here that Bamboo will Divacola. Bamboo will Divacola tonight. President Bakama said Bamboo will Divacola. So y'all know the liberal. I'm here for Kumbaya business. Well, I kind of Liberia they want to send me the subby too. And they send people to subby. Well, I kind of Liberia they want to send me the subby. Send me the, I have gone to CRD headquarters. Because people say, yeah, Liberia, we suffer. Yeah, that this time Samson told you a tree like that bamboo with divacola. What's wrong with you? Those days, back in the 70s, made almost ending of 70s, I used to be a goldsmith fixing gold ring, elephant bracelet, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm telling you that I'm not afraid of jail. That's what I'm gonna tell you. So when these people the full and the money people want because they don't want to they don't want to get gold business and they get gold plenty. So when they bring their gold for me to fix ring for them or fix elephant bracelet or fix some chain for them, they bring them in dust and you have to melt them. So first you weigh the dust. So all of you and the mango mail, you and the full man, you copy the number down. Okay. I will explain to him or to that person when I'm ready to do your ring or elephant bracelet and things like that, I will have to fire the wind blowing here will take some good dust away. So when I finish away, it will not be the same thing we agree. When I finish the elephant bracelet, everything shiny. I finish polishing it, everything. My hand all green because that's the polish you use the polish stuff like that. Your hair all green, but that's not the issue. I pull in the assay, everything good, but that's not the issue. I blow it, fuel. Oh yeah, something too. That was no problem, no problem. But when they come back for their goal, we weigh in the same way. They just stay there. I tell no telephone business, man. Just get in the camp. Go to CID headquarters, get it, pay some money. They're coming for something too. Spent 2, 3, 4 hours there. They throw me in the dungeon. They call it dungeon. They CID headquarters on Mama Point, way up there in Mama Point. So my cousin, he's dead now. At that time, he was the chief photographer for CID. So he was the chief. One afternoon he came, the first time he came, he saw me. He said, "But what are you doing here?" I explained. He called a man. He said, "By the time I open my eye, that boy better be outside." They took me out the first time. The second time, they took me back again. The same thing. So he told the people, the next time I come, I meet my son here, you people myself will be in there. So the people used to take me. Yeah, they still take me, but they don't put me in there. Yeah, let me sit down in front of the CID building there in my one point. Sit down there on the bench. So I'm not afraid of jail. Why I'm gonna say here, if I go to Liberia, Unity Party want to throw me soft beat, they can throw me soft beat. In fact, I never went to soft beat. You know, soft beat they used to have a elementary school there when we're living in the barracks. I was attending GW Gissem, but I will not call their name. Some of them are big shot now. A big what I say Liberia. These Sony went board, then they all running the country, my boy. These Sony went board, who am I say used to run all was Sony went Buzakola, they running the country. They're smart. That's fine. I have no issue with it. But anyway, some of them they started from Subby Elementary School. They used to have blue. They used to wear blue and white elementary school. Sub Beach over there. So I'm not afraid of Sub Beach. I saw Obi, Justin Obi got hung at Sub Beach, 1971 when Tabo hang him up because he said he killed Bishop Brown. So they hang him. I saw it. They brought out rope, not a rope, and it was sharing it among us. I saw it. So Subby, I'm playing for me to be afraid of. I'm not afraid of Subby. You want to take me to Subby? Step me to Subby. But I will be truthful. Let's go on. So, President Bakai recently, folks, I sent a link already. If my tabata is too much for you tonight, you're able to join, sit down. I will enjoy myself. So, anyhow, so President Bakai quite recently has gone on some nation, I'm not going to call it nation building, but strengthening of the societal moral. Ever since 1847, Liberia has always been upside down. They kill people, brought upside down war for no reason. Certain group of us, our brothers and sisters, believe they were better than other people. We know that. Thanking some of us decided we want to remove them by force. We overthrew their government, killed some of them. In the process, some of us got hurt. Brothers and sisters got killed, which is fine. Okay, you're not ready. All right, when you're ready, throw your thumb up. Some of us, our brothers and sisters, some brothers and sisters got killed. That Liberia. The war came. The fabric of the society started tearing apart. What President Barker have done what he's been doing these few days, it's his own way of trying to build met defenses. I remember I interviewed Dr. Bishop Warner here one time on LPR, and I asked him, why are you not in touch with, because I asked him, do you know? He said, I know Ellen them very, very well. I said, why are you not? He said, no, Samson, I'm not going to beg these people. He said, there's a saying in our old country dialect. If you're plotting or mad, you have to sit on an old mat. And if people knew some of us have this ability to do, if they want to learn, they will come to us. I respected him from that point on. I always have respect for him anyway. In fact, that's how he became a vice president, because he wasn't afraid of anybody. He tell them the truth. So President Baka recently, going back into history, it's okay. We have the people that we took out. Because President Baka served in the PRC government. I told you guys that. So the people we took out, their leader were killed. The people who led the taking out of that leader, he also got killed. We're going to bury them. We're going to give them a burial process that will bring some relief to their family, relief to their citizens, relief to the entire population. I'm not going to question that. Whether I like it or not, it is. One of the things that I'm very good at is to put myself in a group setting, because I believe if you're in a group setting, your personal interest supersede your personal interest go underneath the group's interest. And this is the situation. If I was president, would I give that kind of order to go bury people, bring that? No. Some people I would not even touch them. But it's in the interest of the country. Whether I'm crying or not is not the issue. The issue is how Liberia benefit from this. Because of my feeling, should I say no for the population to have the feeling of enjoyment? Should I say no? No. Then I'm not a good citizen. I would suppress my feeling for Liberia feeling and Liberian issue to go ahead. Because if Liberia happy, eventually I will be happy. But I can't say I want to be happy while Liberia is not happy. Then I'm not a good citizen. And so President Baka lately I've gone out to bury President Doe, the late President Doe and his wife went to visit Toba family to also extend his hand. This is what a president's supposed to do. And one of the good things here about this president, he's of age where nobody, no one should question his sincerity because he understands the culture of our country. He has a clear understanding. And so when President Baka is doing it, those of you that don't know these things, when you tell blah, 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 the president went, no. Those of us that understand, those of us that are born in the countryside, they say during the death of somebody, during the funeral of somebody, that's when all the people come together. If you ain't come together at that moment, forget it. Unless somebody else die again. So if President Baka is going, he slept in. I believe. I think they say he slept in total, or that the body slept in total. I don't know. But anyway, I'll ask question. They said, but he slept in Zwadru. I believe they say he slept in Tucson too. I don't know. But I'm not asking question. But whatever it is, the fact that he went to Zwadru with the president, that's my people. That's it. That's it. What do you want again? What do you want? What do you want? And I'm not going to politicize that. But yeah, I will politicize it. I changed my mind. I'm going to politicize it. President Waka, you did a wonderful, wonderful job for the people of Grand United County. And I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for that. On a very serious note, what he did here is to say to the people, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe. Mister, if I don't want to call your name, if you're ready, just throw your thumb out. I will bring you out anytime. Oh, I'm talking to my tabata right now. Okay. All right. Okay. But anyway, so let's go on. So, what he did for me is to say to the crown people, y'all bring yourself together. Let's wrap ourselves together as Liberians. Let's come together. Let's come together. Bury your hero. And we feel bad for all of you guys. But come back and we'll work to build this country together. Now, I said I was going to politicize a little bit. So let me go a little bit into politics now. President Baka, now that you have done this wonderful thing, find some good crown boys, crown girls, and put them in our county to lead the county, please. Please. Help us. Help us. Help us, President Baka. Help us. We want people, look, the young man that is leading the country right now, he's my own little brother. But for him to sit there on TV, on social media, and tell somebody, the person talking back to me, that 1950 something idea, the person talking back to me, your head calling and let take into for the police station. For what? If you believe the person have violated whatever ordinance you have, okay, whatever ordinance you have, you go and charge him. If you can't pay his fine, let the justice deal with it. But instead, You say you put hang on, man. Let's take it. What you're taking him for? What's the charge? Was he giving a memorandum right? Was he asked to get a lawyer? This is 19. Did I say 19? I mean 2025. That are 1940 something. Why are we doing the President Waka? You're gonna help us. All of the good things you're doing, if you do not produce, if people are not leading these different counties who are capable of bringing people together, it's all for nothing. It's all for because people do not trust the leaders, most of them. So I'm saying, brothers and sisters, let us take our hat off to President Walker. You saw me taking my hat off, right? To President Walker. Thank you, President. We really do appreciate. And again, folks, they don't know me. I don't know them, but I admire this president. And these are some of the reasons. These are some of the reasons. Let me bring in one of the panelists here. He just came in, keep going in and out, but let me bring him on.
Who go in here?
Oh, okay. I'll tell you, I'm going here. Good evening. My tomato too much for you, eh?
No, not
He
my
said,
man.
he said, keep me in the bag. Okay.
You told your grand director me and that is about a question though. Who is it the superintendent says something? Who is the superintendent or grand director?
Cheshire Grant.
Hey,
Alex
man,
Cheshire
I
Grant.
thought somebody serious, man. The man who lies he had a degree from
Oh, my man, you're not
another
coming to Kaya.
university.
You're not coming to Kaya. That's my only
No
brother.
man, but when you start talking, you see the thing.
But beside when he said he got a degree, was he?
Then he
Let me ask,
lied.
okay, but
He
let me ask you.
lied.
Let me ask you this.
It comes
That,
to the
that's not
issue
an
of
issue.
integrity. Once
Okay,
integrity,
okay. But
what you expect?
Was he not making a grades? He was making a grade. He was
You are making a
passing.
great way.
You were passing at LU. You
The
were
man
not
said when
flunking.
he got master's degree from Ibadan University,
Yeah, but when you were at LU, you were passing a grade.
did
You
he
were doing
finish
good.
LU?
No, he didn't. They kick him
But
out.
how you go get master's degree? You finish that the part lying to talking about then
That
go
was,
make the
but
man
he
break up.
didn't fail. He was not failing. He was
But
doing
not the
good.
point he didn't get a degree. You have to go to your second level. You can first finish the first
But
level.
it doesn't. Well, yeah, I agree with
It
you. But
doesn't
what
matter. You're
no,
gonna tell me
no,
it
no,
doesn't
no,
matter
no, it
on the
matter.
global platform.
I agree with you. But what I'm saying is he wasn't flunking out. Let's
That's
give
not
him
the
that.
point. The point is go to his integrity. He
Okay, let's leave the
lied.
man. The man.
Now
Okay,
the man might taste you that kind of put
that
one
my little
position
brother.
leadership.
That my little brother. He's superintendent of Grand Union
That
County.
man know he know he myself will get something in my mess up. Well, criminal, liar. Shit. Don't bring in there.
Okay, I beg you. Let's leave that one.
What
Let's
he
leave
said,
that
he
one.
said him put somebody in jail.
No, what happened was
Uh-huh.
he went to inspect when they complained that Grand Union Sludgery was dirty.
Uh-huh.
So he went to inspect the Catholic compound. So he believed the Catholic compound, the grass was not well maintained.
Uh-huh.
Well, as though all Zwedru grass was maintained. So
Right.
the young man that they met, they were talking. The young man said, where you park your car was not grass, that flower.
Right.
So the man said, okay, come show me. So the young man followed and he said, yeah, the flower there. He said, oh, you lie. So the man said, I'm not lying. He said, oh, you talking back? You talking back to the superintendent? Y'all take the man, y'all put him going. They grabbed him and took him to
That is so stupid.
but that's
That is
that's
so
the point.
stupid.
Well, I'm not gonna.
The president should remove him as speaker immediately.
Well,
Well,
that's
those are the kind of things we call for. Anybody
okay.
that behave beyond the scope of
Okay, that my little
responsibility and
brother,
authority, you
that my
remove
little
him.
brother, that my little brother.
I care who he are to you. I
Yeah,
care
okay.
you are him from Total.
No, but we're from the same area.
Remember last time I said any politician that start doing tribal thing here, don't believe that at 20 you want to talk right now.
Okay. Okay, let's do that one. Okay, I gave you that one. Don't forget it. Let's
But
move
you
on.
give me everything because now I can read. I'm a man of
Okay. But tonight I'm not giving you everything. I just gave you the one here for now. But
man,
anyway,
that was somebody serious, man. I fully man, they should move him, man.
my man.
They got to the president might bring crown people. The only crown people in Grand Judah County.
No, the president should make Crown Man vice president for him now, right now.
But yeah, go there now.
Oh, not Crown Man.
You deny your thing today.
I'm from Lofa County.
So Samson, are you denying on this global platform?
I'm from Lofa County. I'm from Lofa County.
And you say the name Total after your family? You only told?
Yeah, but I say I'm from Lofa County.
Yeah, to answer the question, I say Total or name after your
my
family.
grandfather, yes. But I'm from
I just want to make sure that thing you told me in the song.
No, I'm from Lofa County. I'm from Lofa County.
Let's talk on this, man. What's the topic on tonight? What we talking about on that, Samson?
Well, Victor, thank you for joining me, folks. Again, Samson to Labra Burrito. Please share this link here as much as possible so that other people will be able to join and have a good time with us.
Absolutely, absolutely right.
So,
Share, subscribe, raise the numbers. We're doing well. We got a lot of good things. A lot of people can learn a lot of things from us
yeah, yeah,
as we
yeah,
go. I'm glad you're doing that. Something that's very good.
yeah. So share this video, share it to. Oops! Oh my goodness! Share this video, folks. Share this video to as many people as possible. So tonight, Victor, I ask you to join me here. President Baka had nominated Justice Wisse, and the building behind you is not a strange place for you.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, growing up, I thought that's where you were going to end up.
No, my better.
No,
Well,
as
you
we were,
never know. I was just looking at some options.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
When we
thinking
were
about going to
when
do a
we were
taco
when we were
program.
growing up in the same house, I thought that was going to be the place you were going to end up.
Yeah, they were upstairs somewhere around here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You visited there a lot of times. I know that for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on the
you
fifth
so
floor.
you broke, you run or whatever.
And when money nights to come, the money nights to come, he used to come and Ministry of Education.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Minister, you control the bank. That one there for sure.
No, I
Because
know
you,
about the bathroom, but upstairs, Ministry again on the sixth floor. You forgot?
yeah, 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 yeah. You told the
Way
Omar,
down the hall, to the hall when you clean the stair to the right.
you told the Omar in Plus Samson
Man,
in
that
Public
lead
Street.
the old man been there. That tour I was tour, yeah.
Okay, all right, okay, okay, folks. He's my little brother. I older than him 50 times. But
Um,
anyway, no, seriously, Victor. I ask you to join me tonight. This selection that President Baka has done for Justice, uh, Chief Justice.
mhm.
What do you make of it? Have you even read about it at all?
Yeah, I read about it. I thought it's interesting.
How is that?
I think it's interesting because anybody could look at it, and I've talked to one or two person who said they think the man's being rewarded for his dissension. He says he whenever a Supreme Court decision is made, you all have dissenting opinions, right?
Hmm.
And he was a lone dissenting opinion, and anybody that listened to his opinion basically understand that he was his logic or his reasoning favored the quote unquote majority black. And because of that relationship between the majority black and the executive vis-a-vis the president, some people have called me up to tell me they think that he's been rewarded for that. What people need to understand, even though he had a dissenting opinion, but there is a history of times where dissenting opinions do come around to serve as the basis or the reference point for majority ruling in the future. I gave an example. There was a murder case in Liberia where the former Supreme Court Justice Johnny Lewis
Hmm.
referenced one of the former associate justices who was famous for writing dissenting opinions, and that opinion kind of served as a basis for his ruling at the time. So you know that's a
Yeah,
lot. That's a long game. We also have the situation like one of the other persons told me that share with me. They're looking at the 2029 case, not case rather electoral situation,
that's
because
that's
they,
that's
they
where
do
the
they do
person.
expect that it's going to go before the Supreme Court, and so the government should have one ally in their pocket.
And I thought that was a little bit too far fetched. In that they're trying to say, and I've been getting a lot of call tonight, this evening. Actually, when I first heard about it, people were calling me and say, "Have you heard this? Have you heard that?" So I went to read about it. I read it, and the conversation quickly turned to, yes, he did that because first of all to reward him for his view
Hmm.
during the House impasse
Right,
saga that ended up at the Supreme Court. I
right.
found that hard to believe, to be honest with you,
Why?
but because I think all of these people, they are all honest and I believe straightforward person. The fact that he had a descendant view does not mean that now because of that he's being rewarded. But then I started thinking to myself, Most of the Supreme Court here in the United States, most of the new appointee by President Trump, most of them were pretty much addition on writing in newspaper, writing for some, saying certain things and what have you.
Mhm.
Many, most chief, I mean, Attorney General was pretty much on TV before he became Attorney General, saying that Trump cannot do so. Audition pretty much. So I started thinking myself, maybe the man, discerning voice was just a way to knowing fully well that this lady was going to retire. And so let me put my voice instead of agreeing with everybody else. Let me be the dissenting voice and be stand up. But again, I have to give these people a little bit latitude here, Mr. Ezako, in that I believe this guy has been doing a lot of work. He's not Johnny Come lately. Or Johnny Just Coming. He's been around.
Mhm.
So I think President Walker's selection process, I believe, is based on this guy performing. But I'm not going to negate the fact that he has a skilling dissenting view against his colleagues in this matter. And they also told me though that watch out for 2029
Mhm.
because they believe the person was telling me they believe that if CDC, which everybody believe they're coming by, uh, because the election, this current election, was not won by a huge margin, and so if CDC come back with the unforced error that this government continue to bring upon themselves,
Mhm.
that the Liberian people would seriously give them money, give their money worth, and that there will be some serious competition. So the guy told me once that happened, and you have a margin like this, Unity Party will not do like President Weah. They're not going to concede. They will even ask for a recount, and most likely they will end up in a Supreme Court. So what good would it? Where if they do go to Supreme Court and you have a Chief Justice who has already shown a tendency to be with the Unity Party, where do we stand? They said, and I told them, look, just stay blind and we have to trust because every one of us that believe in institution building process, we have to believe that the system will work for all of us because justice is blind. And the person just simply before they hang out, they just said, Mr. Toe, don't be a fool. I say I'm not. I believe in the system. And Victor, to be honest with you, that's the only way we're gonna have a system in place. Is to believe that these things are going to work with transparency. Let me hear from you, my brother.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the word system because system is basically a mechanism by which we tend to move our ideas, our wills, and our desires forward, right? Or to materialize them. So system is not in absence the effectiveness of people or the administration of personnel. So yeah, the system is put in place. When I was in elementary school, we had this little in our math book. I remember they had this little diagram where they had a computer and they had information going out and going in and information coming out. And the concept of that diagram was basically everything that goes in comes out. You put one and one in separately at the end, you'll get two. One plus one equal two all over the world. So to say we have a system, I believe in the system. Yeah, we all believe in the system. But who are the operators of the system? That is where we get bogged down. Now, one also has to look at precedent. There have been a few cases that have gone before. I mean, the famous one is Liberty Party versus National Election Commission. Have you ever heard of the Supreme Court overturning an election result? Not likely. I mean, the Supreme Court said go back and recount. By the end of the day, the Supreme Court cut it short because timeline, all that kind of political pressure came into play. So I don't think a system, as you define it, will be effective. I just think this whole thing is just blatantly too political, and I'm trying not to make it. but it's so obvious in our faces that
Why
nobody.
why will you make it sound like so obvious?
It's so
It,
obvious. I'm saying,
why
look,
why
let me
why
let
will
me
you not
explain.
give no, but Victor,
But that's a good question, Samson.
I'll
That's a
push
good
back
question.
on that. Okay, go ahead, answer it and I'll
That's a
come
good
back at you.
question
Go
because
ahead.
it seemed it appears that the man was either one campaigning or he was two interviewing for the position through that whole process of the situation through the house. That one can make such an argument, and it won't be so far fetched for an everyday thinking person to draw such a conclusion. You, in what you said, you were doubtful, but then when you start looking at the history of things, you say, there might be some level of truth to it. But you believe in the system, right? So the factors over here, yeah, there might be some truth to it, but you believe in a system that says even though these factors may be in play, we don't know for a fact they are, but may be in play, but the system will somehow negate that. And I'm saying I don't think so because the operators of that system are the factors over here. Does that make sense? I'm just trying to make sense, my man. I just trying to make common sense. I know they say if sense will come on, everybody will have it, but yet I'm believing in the system. Everybody got
Yeah, well, I hate to bust your bubble. I don't agree with you.
it. All right. Okay. Okay.
And
But
here's
yeah,
the
but
reason why.
that's
Here's the reason
go
why.
ahead. Go ahead.
For you to sit here and argue that from your perspective it's
Mhm.
obvious, then I think perhaps you're not quite ready to give the president any kind of latitude whatsoever.
My,
In that, why would you say this obvious? For example,
mhm.
the president has constitutional responsibility to select.
Right.
So, first of all, let us agree that in terms of merits,
Mm-hmm.
this guy is qualified.
Mm-hmm.
He can stand on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're not stranger to this particular profession, even though you're not a lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
but you have dealt with so many of them.
Right. I'm
They
zero
are
one of
very,
them. I got to deal one tomorrow.
yeah, exactly. These people are very opinionated people.
Mm-hmm.
Their views are always like, well, I'm not going to say they think they're better than anybody. I would say they think they're better than anybody else.
All
Let's
right.
put it that way. However, this particular guy has been sitting on different benches of the judiciary system in Liberia. That's what he does. Now, I'm sure President Wakai must have had people to recommend this guy. And I'm sure those who did the recommendation process have gone through his CV or his standing among his colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they have gone through. I believe he has written so many dissenting view, or he has written so many view, I don't call it judgment, or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And they have gone through that process
Mm-hmm.
to see. Okay, this guy have written four. When he before he became member of the bench, he has written five judges or judge opinion, whatever. And how many of those were overturned by the justice by the Supreme Court? None, maybe. Okay. This guy has gone from one bench to another. All this time, was there any kinds of corrupt behavior? Because corruption and judiciary, they are not too far apart in Liberia. So I believe President Baka most likely was told of these things, was told what he had. In fact, I would suggest to you, even though the decision is made this week
Mm-hmm.
of the early, but I believe this thing has been ongoing. President Baka, he's a very sensible person. He doesn't come to make decisions fly by night. He's a very thoughtful person. So I believe he sent information to those people. Say, let's look at this guy because our sister is getting ready to retire soon. Let's look at this guy. Please do your research. Find all the information you can find about negative or positive. Don't be afraid. Then bring it to me. Most likely that's what happened. Then they took it to the president. The president reviewed it and make a decision. Now you're saying that that is obvious. So
You know, you
when
know
you make that
something. You know
statement,
something. You know something. Here's the thing. Sometimes I find it interesting when sometimes people get on these platforms and they try to make the comparison between the practice of vetting in the United States to that of Liberia. And there's nowhere close. You go in the assumption that they do the FBI vetting with applicants in the US, or they do background check over here, how they do it over here, the same thing done in Liberia. It's not that way. Any one of those 5% or 4% on that Supreme Court bench will be able to qualify for the job. So let's go beyond the resume, because you're preferring his resume right now. So let's go beyond the resume. All right. The way the process worked, the president has rightfully done that. He has forwarded his name to the Senate and urged the Senate to expeditiously uh, um, uh, um, confirm him. Right. So the process of vetting now comes through the Senate. Have you ever been in the position to listen to one of those confirmation hearing? How many persons in the Senate will be able? I'm not saying there's none. There are some, but how many will be willing to ask the hard questions of his judicial doctrine? You know how many? A lot of times, whether they're going for confirmation for the judiciary or some administrative branch or some job, is it seems like it's mostly service, unless a particular senator got something against a candidate, and then he or that senator asks real tough questions. Outside that, it's a rubber stamp, man. It's a rubber stamp. So that is our reality. It reminds me of this kind of sidestep a little bit. It reminds me of yesterday when we were on the show. My apologies to everybody. I had to leave. We had technical issues here. But when my brother Sisse was kind of trying to counter me, and
oh, you missed
I
that.
read it. Yeah,
He
but
now
hold on
would
now,
he now
hold
would
on.
counter you. He put say in your gari.
No, he put it there right because I was not here, so he couldn't do that. But my point I'm trying to make is I welcome this kind of intellectual debate. I welcome them because it really says to somebody, go and do your homework and come back. Take every word in the Constitution. Words have meaning. What does this word mean? Do just take it holistically and say, oh, but the Constitution says so. So my point here, coming back to this thing about the nominee, will the senators take their jobs very seriously, research this man, look at his rulings, look at his dissenting opinion, and question him and make individual decision? Because our protem is not a lawyer. My friend and brother Darius Dillon, who sits on the Judiciary Committee, is not a lawyer, even though he sounds like one. He tried to, but he's not a lawyer. His younger brother is. They got other people in there who are lawyers. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing the confirmation hearing and see if they can really question this man about his judicial ruling. And they need to keep in mind that he's a human being. Forget the resume. All of us got fine resumes. Well, most of us do anyway.
No,
You know,
I don't even have a
I mean,
GED.
but at the end of the day, let them ask those tough questions and let's see what
Yeah,
it is. And they might keep in mind that they do have a right to say, Mr. President, not just what, try somebody else.
yes, okay, I agree with you. And sometimes, yeah, we're all guilty of that, of trying to how do you call it, trying to take American system that we see all the time, try to see if that can be applied to Liberia. And we're all guilty of it. Even in school, when you see anything that is good, you say this can be we can be able to take it to Liberia. So
Yeah, but
yes, I do agree with you. These things are not are not easily transferable. I agree with you on that. But however, I think we have to be very careful on this here. In that, first of all, let us agree that President Baka has done his job. He
yeah,
has
yeah.
made a selection.
Yes,
Now,
he has.
Now, Rescue 2 is here. Rescue 2 is here, folks. Let me bring in Rescue 2. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I thought man said to come on, man. So you must also our thing for
No, no,
yesterday.
no. That your kumbaya business. Say continent.
I mean,
Say
let me
kaya with blacking.
educate my brother
I
on
kaya
the
to
law
that
and the
with black.
constitution.
You able to begin. Leave
Man,
alone.
please. If I,
Leave alone.
let
I
me
know the
educate my
begin.
brother on the
You
constitution.
able. You able to
Let me
begin. Leave
let me put the
alone.
US Constitution next to like
Leave
constitution
alone. The
compare
begin
contrast.
that Minnesota politician. Leave alone. Let him stay on our side. Let him enjoy ourselves. You
Oh
can
man,
tell
tell me
me
how you doing, man. How
what
you
you want to
doing?
do with me. That's fine. But with him, yeah, please leave the begin alone. But Terry, did I say Terry? I mean Rescue 2. Welcome.
My man,
Welcome.
man, need
Thank you.
Terry calling, call the band by name, man. Show some deference to your people.
What kind of man they are?
I
You
try
know,
to
jump
I
from.
try to help elevate you there. Still won't
Yeah,
stay in
but
the
he rescued too.
still won't stay
That's
in
the
it. My
next
man,
thing we
yeah,
got here.
when you palm knee, your palm my knee, they call you rescue to your fighting rescue or last knee too.
Okay, you know plenty.
Eh?
Rescue 2. Welcome. But anyhow, let me go on. No, on a very serious note, Victor.
Or they call him pastor rescue too.
You see that now? You see what? You say. You see, Labra, man. He said, "Don't do it. Don't do what I do, but do what I say." But let me go on. No, on a
That's all
very
in
serious
fun.
note.
That's all in fun.
Let me say this on a very serious note. Mr. Zanko, you point out something very interesting here. In that, those who are going to be involved in the vetting process, the senators, for example, our own senator, the light. Other people calling Chinese light now, still calling U.S. light. The light.
I'll leave my
Uh,
brother alone.
he has a brother who most likely might appear before this chief justice if he's successful. Does that make him compromise?
What you mean? Explain that.
His brother is a lawyer,
Uh-huh.
and most likely going to go before the chief justice if he's
Not
successful.
necessarily so. It
Look,
depends
I'm
on what
just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
okay. Okay.
Does that come to play? Did I use the word compromise? And folks, I take that back. I eat that right away. But does that make Dylan's position a little bit difficult in trying to ascertain what I believe to be the tough questioning process?
No. I mean, your question insinuates that the fact that there's some compromise already. You did you
That's what
say
I say. That's what I say.
no.
But
I
I took
mean,
it
yeah,
back.
it's like somebody saying because something told brother or in the army once upon a time that means something told. Can I have an opinion about the army? No.
Okay. Let me go to Terry. Terry, thank you for joining us here tonight. What's on your plate, sir?
Yeah, they were. Well, listening to you guys talking about the newly appointed position, and I think I don't know, but the president knows why he appointed him. I think this guy is from Nima County, and there are allegations of on him that he was one of those who declined on the. And there are allegations of.
Mr. Ezanko, you have to mute
I
yourself.
apologize. I apologize. Okay, go
Okay.
ahead.
Go
You
ahead.
know the case recent case with Fonati Kofa. He was one of those
What
who
was the
declined.
allegation from Nima County you're talking about?
No, there was an allegation on him that I know he let one Chinese man go, or what? He set a Chinese man free on some kind of case. I don't know, it's a land
Yeah, I
case.
saw something like that. Yeah, but this is what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'm gonna go and read all of those because at one point he refused to recuse himself in another case. So those are things that I'm gonna look at tomorrow as well. But go ahead, Terry.
But he got experience. I've been reading his autobiography. He worked at I think a law as a consultant to NEC before under Ellen government. He
Oh yeah.
have worked with the Unity Party government for a while. I think he was also working with the Justice Ministry before under Ellen's government. So apparently, you understand the modus operandis of the Unity Party form or style of governance. So
Huh?
this to
What
influence.
are you saying?
Oh, but
The man compromised.
The Unity Party is pulling people that they feel comfortable with. Like the other day, you guys were talking about political party, choosing people, and you were looking for political party bringing in the brightest, the smartest, and all that. But political party can easily work with people that understand their pattern and can flow with the narrative. And that is where I agree with Mr. Azango that time. So we're coming back now to the same thing. And my opinion on this matter is that this man have been working with the Unity Party-led government before. So he understands their form of governance. Apparently, that could be one of the reasons why he was influenced to decline when he was on the bench. That is just a gossip. But my point is that is he suitable for the job? Is he the right man at this time? He was appointed to that seat by the former president of Liberia in person of Dr. Josh Manenwia. You understand? I think the people are having problem now with a doctoral degree. I know they confer. But however it is, so yeah, we look forward to see what will happen. But I foresee trouble.
For this guy?
With a period.
For this guy?
Well, for the United Party government, because they're going to be bashed at. Because Basic comes from Nima County, number one. Jeremiah Kuhn, vice president, comes from Nima County. Basic was the only judge who declined in the ruling against Honorable Kufa.
Okay.
Could it be that he saw this coming? Basic also have worked with the Unity Party government. So my question would be, will he be transparent? We got big cases coming up. We got the case with the Asun case. We got Samuel 12. We got persecutions on hand that the Supreme Court might be able to probe in, and take it from criminal court, blah, 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 that the way they can do it, postal order, bring it here, talk they want, no. So there are high-profile cases on the docket at this time.
Rescue 2.
That is why I say I see trouble with a period.
Rescue 2. The way I listening to you right now, I don't think you can say that this is a prophetic appointment.
No, it's not a prophetic. I did not partake in your palm one when you were drinking that.
Okay, all right, Rescue 2. Because the way you're going tonight on this one here,
well, okay. I just try to be honest here because tomorrow when it come back at us, we will have to defend it.
You and who?
It's going to come back.
We the supporter of President Bakai.
Oh, they both of you are supporting Parker?
Of course.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm not supporting anybody. I'm just
okay. So you're independent.
You man. I thought you supported your countryman, your uncle the last time.
Who?
Oh, 2023, you didn't support your uncle?
Who, Parker?
Yeah. He's supported.
No, man, I didn't go to vote.
But whose side were you on? Even if you didn't go to vote.
I was on my side.
Oh, yes, okay.
No, I mean, right. I like most Liberians was optimistic. Okay. Now whether that optimism still exists, that's a whole different topic for a different time. But
so Terry, though, you brought in Kofa stuff here, and Clarence David is asking this question also now. Look at Bamboo coming to Listen to the question. This is our man Terry. He said, "But Terry, wasn't this the same man? The majority group lawmakers said a lot of things about legal talk."
It was the same man, but it was also the same man who declined and said that this particular case is political and the Supreme Court should not get involved. This was the same guy.
Okay.
All right. And he said his position was that Supreme Court should not have ruled in the way they rule because this particular case was political, and he defended a position. But the reason he declined it was because he disagreed with CNN on the count that, and his other colleagues on the bench, that we already ate the money. We already went to these people that you calling illegitimate. We went to them and they passed the budget. So are you saying that the whole budget was illegal? So he was not prepared to flow in that direction. That is why he declined.
But
But
Terry,
apparently,
Terry, I think that was a very weak argument when I heard you say that. That
How
was a
is that?
very, that
How
was
is that?
extremely weak.
How is that? Expand on that,
Because
Victor.
there are things in the law taking into consideration certain things, and one of the things is the act happened, the government had to continue to function, but the issue was the constitutionality of the act of the so-called majority black. It was not about who ate the money, who didn't eat the money. Obviously, you can't go tell everybody and bring the money and then put it back. So that was a
Mr.
moot
Azambula,
situation. That was extremely weak argument.
so if that being said,
Mhm.
what do you think about his judgment going forward?
I'm not a senator.
We're in trouble.
If
Okay, folks,
if I was near the Senate, I would tell you what it is. But I think that particular that basis for his that he's entitled to give us his opinion. But I think that his basis were extremely weak. I listened to the whole thing. I played it 2 or 3 times. It was extremely weak. Because already so we all somehow are culpable because of that act. No, the act was completely.
But he did quote.
I mean, I'm not trying to relitigate that, but I'm just trying to bring some clarification to that. The act was illegal, and the issue was not, and that's what the Chief Justice said. I am paraphrasing here. I cannot do for you what you have done for yourselves. Then to this day, they still, to the best of my knowledge, they still have not gone and set up the internal mechanism, the internal rules on how to deal with with forcing the minority, forcing the majority to come back. The Constitution says that yes, the speaker or the speaker has the right to force the minority to come to session. That all it says. How that process work is something that has to be working internally. So to say, well, because it has to be worked in internally, so a political, so we should not make the constitutional judgment here, was extremely weak.
So then I think listening to both of you now, I think Terry, go ahead before I
Mr.
say what I
Azango,
want.
his point was he quoted the Supreme Court. I think the certain doctrine. I think the Supreme Court doctrine.
The
So
doctrine
some
of
kind of
separation. The doctrine of separation.
yeah, the doctrine of separation.
Right.
So, and you cannot say he's wrong too, because he was quoting from the law doctrine. All right.
Yeah,
So, and we are not lawyers, we are not judges. And there are other lawyers that argue, like Verdier. Verdier argues and said that the Supreme Court shouldn't have gotten involved because this is a political case.
but
You see?
people like Buddy have already
But
taken side anyway.
when
But
the four other judges have ruled, there is nothing you can do about it. It become a law.
But let me say this here, Terry. Let me say this here. Like you correctly say, we're not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer, but I play one on TV, so I do have a little knowledge of that. Not real knowledge, but I do have some kind of knowledge. But let me say no on a very serious note, Terry. Let me just say this here. From both of you, what you guys are saying, then I think the selection by President Baka is on point because this guy might be controversial, but that's I have not heard anything uh, so controversial to say that he's not transparent. In fact, if he can come out and, as Victor would say, a weak argument and boldly make his point, how weak it may be, but to boldly make his point, then I think those are the kinds of people perhaps you need in those high area of
So, Libra, can
institutions.
I ask you a question?
Go ahead,
So, what if he was the Supreme Court judge,
Justin.
justice over the case, and he was able to persuade his other
Then then
police.
then we will say Flantikova, you leave your own way,
But
God.
you're not always. But no, but Terry, your
Uh,
question leaves room for clarification. He is never. There is no when it reaches the level of Supreme Court. There is not one judge justice over a case unless you
Granted.
you are the justice in session. Then you
mhm.
can make a decision or you can send it to the full bench. In this constitutional issue, it does go to the full bench.
Yeah,
But
but Victor,
to come to what you said earlier, the last sentence of Article 2, the Constitution says, and I'll read it very short. The Supreme Court, pursuant to its power of judicial review, is empowered to declare any inconsistent laws unconstitutional. So the
yeah,
Supreme Court, in that vein, was making a constitutional decision, not a decision that had to do with the mechanics of how you would do things in the house. But people just got caught up in this situation and tried and couldn't see the line, the clear line. And all the Kofa and his team was saying, make the constitutional, you've already made a decision, rather, when you use Latin phrase. Please put it in simple English. So these people who are running around, and I know some of them who say, but you're not winning the case, who are misleading the people, need to be clear. And that's what I want.
like the justice minister, one of them.
No, I mean,
Who,
because no justice minister way. I talking about when the decision was made before they get
well, the interpretation of the Constitution, I mean, of the
right.
Supreme Court
But
interpretation was one of those. But let me say that, Victor, why I do agree with you.
Mhm.
Terry, the point here, your question, yes, quite in place. But this is what I'm going to say to that. Why Victor is quite correct that they when you go to Supreme Court, it's not one person who is in charge to say this is how I want it done and what have you. But you have personality. And our sister personality was so strong that whatever way she swayed tend to carry most people with him. And this guy most likely will have that same type of personality.
No,
However, well,
Samson.
what he
You
seemed
can't
to
say
is
one plus one. Come on, they can't. Come
no,
on.
no, hold on now, hold
When you
on,
talk about personality
hold on.
and an individual ability to
That
persuade,
okay, but
right?
let me make my point. Yeah,
Right. Come on,
yeah, can't satisfy you.
not satisfy me, but you
Well,
come to the
let me,
audience, you might tell the audience
yeah,
the truth. Don't
but
come from
because my truth is your truth. That my truth, not your truth.
because you went invest to that, so you won't come cheat the thing, right?
I saw that like I
so,
saw
but
that.
when that Mr. So what knocking you all out there or that labor
So we
because
don't
these
until I
people
left
now,
before you go talk. You would not until I left. I yet to tell ain't sure that. Ain't say man. I
But
yeah. So my
let me make
complaint message
that
out to
man,
them.
Sese got his cow tail. I don't
leave
know if he
alone.
got his
You know
talking
how I
Leave
about
do.
alone. Leave Sese alone.
My man,
Leave
Lofa
Sese
always rise,
alone.
boy. Lofa always
Okay.
rise. Oh.
Okay.
You know your
Okay.
old say Lofa shall rise again. You
Okay,
always know.
okay, you're too Lofian, we
yeah,
know. But let me make my point. Let me make my
Mhm,
point, Victor.
mhm,
What I was trying to say is that not because the lady, our sister, has high personality, as far as I'm concerned, that perhaps she was able to influence most of her colleagues.
mhm.
I don't know. I'm speculating. But from this guy, from what I'm hearing, and this is the same guy who and Yaka Koluba don't get along.
I don't care about that. But
No,
I got
hold
no
on,
further
hold
question
on.
for
I'm
now.
just making point. This
Mhm,
guy, Yaka Koluba, when Yaka Koluba come from a court, he always complain
mhm,
that this guy he not quite correct.
mhm,
You know? So somebody who will look at Yaka Koluba and go toe to toe, that's somebody you gotta watch out for. But
no,
the main thing here is if he's successful sitting on the high bench as a Supreme Court justice, Chief Justice. Now,
mhm,
his job was to make sure that the court is respected, to make sure that the court people, the Supreme Court justices themselves, do not go places that will bring disgrace to the court. Now, once you have a character and a personality that will show among your colleagues, leadership personality, and if this guy that will stand up, lone wolf, believe in himself so much
mhm,
that he was on a high profile case.
mhm,
The people just finished telling you 2, 3 weeks before. that you're talking liquor talk,
Mm-hmm.
and you say, I don't mind what they say about me.
Mm-hmm.
I will stand up for what I believe to be justice.
Mm-hmm.
And he stood up from what he believed to be. I don't agree with him, but he made that point. So I'm saying to you, Victor, that with that kind of person, if he was to be successful to be Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia, that
Mm-hmm.
he most likely will have a high personality that people will follow as well.
And I'm trying to explain to you, Samson. Personality be damned. When you sit, you are one among five, and you should be able. You will have to bring your review, your research, the law. Like you said, rightfully said, his function and Justice Yo did say that, did allude to that. The function is to make sure that the five people are working in a cohesive
Ah,
environment. There will be disagreement there. But you can't say because a chief justice like you're fully man from grand jury, I the superintendent, so you must do it their way. It doesn't work like that in the Supreme Court, Ambrose. It doesn't. You know, it works in a cohesive manner. Let's sit down. Why you think this should be this? Why you think that should be that? And there are times when the chief people will not agree with him, and they will vote in the majority, and there will be another justice that will give the majority opinion, and then he might be on the side of the minority of dissent
I,
opinion
I,
again.
I agree. I agree.
But
But go ahead,
we
Terry.
You know what I
also
mean? Then why you
we,
keep
we
talking?
must also
No, but
understand.
because I agree with you, I want to make my point. It just is an intellectual engagement. I'm
I'm
not gonna
enjoying
say
this tonight. It's now we're not cramming over each other. I'm enjoying
it's
this.
just a matter of time. It's just a
Well,
matter of time
we'll
before.
block that. We'll
It's
block
just a
that.
matter of time. It's just a matter of time before I start my tabata real.
We
And
got,
I
we got my,
tabata you are scared or
there's
you
Terry
stay
on
in
my
the back.
second majority blind here.
Oh, let's
Yeah.
hear from you,
But
Terry.
you know, uh, this man agreed to the first ruling of the Supreme Court. So, which means that the second ruling was a contradiction to the first one, or and which the Supreme Court have the right to do. They have the right in the in the explanation of the information bill of information. They can extend the ruling if the ruling is convoluted. They can change it. They have the power to do it. But this guy disagreed with them in the second ruling, apparently because they divert a little bit from
That
what was
unity
taken
party
in the first
argument
ruling.
that
Terry.
unity party argument he was putting forth.
But
Your side on there, you're eating money. We ate the money already. Then what we got? But the Victor is saying to you, eating the money that one thing, making a decision based on constitution, which could find people say, look, you made a decision already, which is constitutional. But most of the people are misinterpreting your ruling and the words that you use. Many of us, Samson told them they don't understand it. Come to our
so
level.
so liberal. That's why I said politically, you are right that politically the president made the right decision. Politically,
Mhm,
because
mhm.
you need somebody on the Supreme Court bench that have your ears.
And that's what people have been suggesting all day. That this is not just political appointment, but that to somehow has some sort of a reprieve in the back pocket of the Unity Party,
And
to in
I
case
want to disagree
which
with Mr. Zango when he said, you as a Supreme Court justice, judge or justice, you can influence your colleagues. You can influence your colleagues, especially in Liberia. I don't know about America, but I want to believe that you can influence your colleagues. You can convince them,
Terry,
especially with the kind of system we got in Liberia.
I know,
I
I
know
know, Terry. I'm not
it's
saying
not supposed to happen.
that you don't have the ability to influence, but I'm not. What I'm saying is influencing. Say for example, I'm sitting on that bench. You now gonna come to me and say,
God
"Pop,
forbid,
my
God
man,
forbid,
Pop,
people
hold
that
on.
turns into it,
We're
not come
talking
to Liberia.
hypothetical. We're
Yeah,
talking
well,
hypothetical.
yeah, have a time because you sit on that bench,
You
you will
not,
throw me in jail.
you
You will throw
not.
me in jail so many times, so you're
Yeah,
not gonna
but
sit
me,
on that bench.
I'm not fully superintendent from Grand Chile. What I'm saying is,
Oh,
I'm not likely
The man
to
is
be
our
able to be
superintendent. He's not a
persuaded.
foolish
I'm
person.
not
He's
likely to
our
be
superintendent.
persuaded because somebody say, my man, just vote for me, man. You know, both are off on the same side. No, you gotta make up. You gotta make an intellectual argument. You gotta convince me why my belief should not hold. And that is the kind of debate you have at the Supreme Court level. A debate of 5 when they go in the chambers to decide. You know, so,
So you don't think?
just
So
say,
if that being said,
huh?
so you don't think, if that being said, you don't think that his opinion was, what his opinion was valid enough to hold?
No. What I'm saying, I'm a little confused on something you said, but what I'm saying is in terms of persuasion, right? His persuasion will have to be based on the fact and the law. That's what I'm saying. Not on your personal opinion. It's a personal opinion. Now, you said that he changed his opinion for the second decision.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to say there was not a second decision. The bill of information was filed to say that thing that you decided on earlier that you explained, the people didn't understand it. So we can explain it in layman terms. That's what that bill of information was about.
But then why did he decline?
Well,
Why did he decline his opinion?
How you
He
feel?
didn't decline. He just gave
He just gave his own opinion.
he just gave an opposing decision.
So the point
So
is,
I don't know. I don't know, Terry. I don't know if he declined the first one. That's what I'm saying. If he did, he did.
He did not. He was
in
favor of the first ruling, but the second ruling.
What's the count in the ruling in December? What's the count in the ruling in December? Was it 5-0?
The first ruling, it was 5-0. The first ruling was 5-0.
I don't know.
The second, because the first ruling, there was an opening that we cannot do for you what you can do for yourself. Go and fix your problem.
Right.
From his view, which meant that this is a political impasse. You can solve your problem because you have.
But he didn't say that from the beginning. He didn't say that.
He said even when they said that liquor tour, that almost the same thing he said.
Yeah,
go back and listen to the video.
He was drinking gold.
The
same gold soup you take over there. I know
the
that for sure.
The second ruling was different from the first. That is why he dissented.
Okay.
He was not in agreement with the second ruling. Because
that was the same ruling from the first, or just clarification.
Okay. Let me welcome.
It was not exactly the same.
Thank you, guys. Before I open the line, let me welcome Mose, who's just joined us here. And immediately we will let Mose say one or two things for maybe 2 minutes, and then we'll open the line. Mose, welcome. What's on your plate, sir?
How you doing, sir?
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Azango, the reverend, the pastor, the evangelist, the bishop, how you doing? And rescue too.
Hey, Lord, I'm for me tonight.
You ready? You ready?
I myself because the fire you bring in is too hot.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
How you got?
What's on your plate? What's on your plate? 2 minutes, please.
I was listening to you guys, and I just want to have an input in here and say that I think the show is not the intent to litigate or to confirm who's doing what and who's not doing. But I can tell you that I think the ruling, the decision of the Supreme Court, the first or second decision had any difference in it. It was just interpreted by the people wrongly in the first time when it said that, the ruling in favor of the minority. And it was their individual interpretation, but the ruling did not. And let me just add that in the Supreme Court, everyone has the right to write their opinion. To have influence on another justices is next to impossible. That's why people publish the dissenting opinion if they don't agree with something. You don't go there and vote and say, and try to influence somebody else. Everyone look at the case individually and write their own opinion on whatever the case is. So there is no influence. It should not be influential, but that doesn't mean that people don't have power to do it in Liberia as we see our justice system. I just hope that the other 4 associate justices will write their individual opinion and not depend on the Chief Justice to tell them what to do. And I think that has been the case. That's why he came up with his dissenting opinion in the second publication, and to make it non-political, that it has to do with the Constitution. And I think that, that's why I wanted to share
Thank you.
on the show.
Thank you.
Mr. Sipe is correct. Mr.
We're
Sipe is
not
correct.
here. We're not going to say who correct, who not correct.
I concur with him. He's
Oh
correct.
yeah, we're not in the Supreme Court. There's no concurrent here. That's Supreme
When
Court.
someone speaks
There's no.
intelligently and
Yeah.
articulate his
Well,
views
we're not
well,
concurrent. We're not doing dissenting view here.
man, my
Be
man.
your own. Tell your
All
own.
right.
Let me,
All right.
folks. I'm going to open the line. Give us a call here 916-533-2048, and let's talk here. I'm here tonight with Mr. Victor Exanko, and Terry Collins and Mr. Sigbe. Mr. Exanko, let me ask you this. This is in your area now because this is what you always ask your question. If this gentleman, this honorable man, is successful, how his action gonna benefit Liberian? What do you think?
I don't think it can make a difference. Yeah, where it is, and people need to understand. So the president basically got two bites at the apple, right?
Okay, Victor, hold on 1 minute. Let me answer this guy. Please just bear with me, guys, as you go on. When the call comes in, we'll stop you. Just hold your thought on that. Caller, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Hi, Mr. Tool, and hi to the rest of the panelists.
Thank you, Bruce. Go ahead. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, Terry, I need to start rooting for you. Thank you for sometimes you speak to the power. But Mr. Tool, there's no way you can accuse you of liquor talk, and in the next breath, you change 90-degree around. But because I think on Spoon it was said, and the rumors were around because when the Supreme Court was doing the rules, it was rumored that he was basically one of the judges that went to the president first to have a meeting with the president. And it was all scared that the vice president have already negotiated with me that since the lady will be retiring in a few months from now, they will make sure he get this Supreme Court Chief Justice position, and that was why he descended. Because the argument that he makes, I don't think it makes any sense for why he was descending. Because he the one after Prince Justice burial came up to speak as the reason why they never attended the speech of the president. Why they absent? You were interpreting the absent, and what it meant when they said. That was Italian they spoke or they wrote. He was interpreting. So how come in another breath your whole decision changed overnight? But because he was promised something, I don't think someone would get integrity for him to be the chief justice. I'm not saying he can be a justice, but he can be the chief justice. Okay. I'll just stop right there. Thank you.
Thank you, Amber.
Thank you for speaking to the power.
Thank you. Okay, I think they just is in trouble if they can praise Terry like this.
As I was saying, basically what happened is the president get two bites at the apple. He removed the associate justice to the position of chief justice, and he get a second chance to appoint a second person on the Supreme Court. So in one blow, you got two apples. He got two bites at the apple, right? How does that affect 2029? How does that affect decisions that are made concerning the economy?
Just hold on. Let Victor land, then we'll bring you in. Go ahead, Victor.
Other things that are very pertinent to our daily life in the Republic of Liberia. That is left to be seen. So I don't think we should focus primarily on that decision he made. That obviously a lot of people question. But now you got a president who has two bites at the apple, and I think that's how we should be looking at it. How we should be looking at it from.
Thank you. Caller, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind? That would be Clarence, that is. Go ahead, Clarence. Oh, hold on. I would say Clarence. I don't do the right thing. Go ahead, Clarence.
Well, thank you for the show tonight. Concerning the newly appointed Chief Justice, I don't think that you're the Liberty Party people. You need to make a lot of noise. What we are hearing the grapevine, Liberty Party, they like the benefit from the appointment.
How?
Washington, I'm telling you. Liberty just a judge that will be replacing him. you know that another appointment because when they make his chief justice, you know that they will make another appointment. You know that.
Right.
I
Go
just
ahead.
said that.
And I'm hearing something in the grapevine that that person coming from your camp. But when I don't see the reason why citizens should even complain about it. We the United Party people we worry about it because they men were appointed by CDC. You must know that CDC have two if they made confirmation go through, you must they Mandingo man and they basically another judge again.
Who they got Mango man?
Yeah, they have one Mandingo man on the bench.
What does that have to do with Mango business? The man is a lawyer.
No, I'm not talking about he being Mandingo. I'm just forgetting your name. I'm sorry.
Then just say there's another chief justice. I mean, there's another justice on the, but anyway, go ahead. I know you're not traveling. So.
I'm sorry for saying that.
Okay, go ahead. We're not going to hold you for that. Go ahead.
That's why I said it twice.
Elijah be happy a 3% on the bench because basically we're appointed by CDC. But then men who are trying to call and I said the wrong thing for another lady. So I don't see the reason why CDC should be complaining because these men were appointed by the former president we are.
Yeah, but I hope you understand. Hold on now, Clarence. This man asks you if you where you're going with. If that's the case, the man did not come to the aid of CDC during the need when CDC needed him the most.
In what sense?
Well, in that he wrote a dissenting opinion against sedition.
No, Mr. To, you're not being fair to the man. What the man said that people are misinterpreting him today. He said everything that the people did in that process as a majority group is getting against the law. But then you are accepting money because you tell me that you are working illegally. But my money is not illegal. Then look at the laws are there. According to Mr. Sango tonight, you saying that no, don't put the money at the business. You let the monkey, you let the tail. So it may seem that when we are running against the people that everything that they do is illegal, that means also about the budget is getting a pass on it that we are benefiting from it.
Okay.
So if Liberian we look at the mentality they say because of the man get you, that means they against CDC. I don't think.
Okay. Hold on. Clarence, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know there are certain group in my part of Grand Gita, there are certain group. You know pumpkin, right?
I'm not pumpkin.
Their law is they don't eat the pumpkin, the part of the pumpkin that sits on the ground. So when they're ready to eat the pumpkin, they cut it and only eat the top one, but they don't eat the bottom one that sits on the ground. So you can't say if you like the monkey, you must eat like the tail too. There are people that will eat pumpkin, but they don't eat the bottom pumpkin. So I'm just giving it to you. Go ahead. Okay.
So in a sense, if getting we look at somebody getting so why you say you shouldn't be confronted. I don't think I will be doing right for the
okay.
Right.
Not because important change your reward is not in heaven.
Okay. All right.
If we are somebody that were appointed by CDC, unfortunately, as a chief justice, what is wrong? Or two. Thank you for the show.
Thank you. All right. Okay. Hold on, Victor. Just write it down. We'll come to you. Let's go around the room, please, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
All right. Mose, let's hear from you. Then Terry can go ahead. But guys, just remember, as you're making your point, when a call comes in, we'll have to hold you there. Go ahead, Mose.
Yeah, Liberal. The fact of the matter is that people need to understand that every justice that serves on the Supreme Court is independent. And they need to understand, to talk about the influence. It's just that our people read too much into the corrupt practices and the way that people have done things in Liberia and think that people are. I would say that this, and like Clarence rightfully said, there's another seat that's going to be open for an associate justice. And we hope that the people who are appointed to that seat are now going to be representing the political party that they're coming from, even though it's inevitable that we know they can support those things. But I'm hoping what I've heard about this guy is nothing but good, how fair and straight. And I think he's been practicing law for a long time, and he excelled to the associate justice position. He didn't come from outside and got appointed to that position. So some of these practicing attorneys, they're something that talk about your case law, the cases that you carry. If you look at most of the judges in a democracy or in America, let me speak of America where I've affiliated with a lot of judges. Most judges, the best judges, in my own opinion, are people who serve as public defendants, not criminal proceeding and prosecutor or something like that. But a lot of public defenders, if you go and look at the history of most of the judges, and they've served in the area of public defender, because as a public defender, you're paid by the state. And your biggest problem is to defend someone based on the crime that they've been prosecuted for. And they have they do more research than the prosecutor. And they're more equipped to look, to weigh the differences, the pros and the cons. That's why most public defendants are becoming justices, being appointed to the justice position.
Thank you. Let me hear from you, Terry. Then Victor will come in. Folks, the number is there. You can call anytime. We'll just hold ourselves and you make your phone call. Go ahead, Terry.
So what I'm reading here says that the Chief Justice can persuade his colleagues. You can check it out for yourself. You know, what I'm reading here, they give 3 different ways he can do that, but he or she can persuade the colleagues.
But that's not mean he's going to force them, though.
But they said,
based on their opinion.
Like they said, not in a hierarchical command, from a hierarchy perspective, but in various forms.
Okay.
Exactly.
One of the forms they say here is, if the Chief Justice is in the majority, they have the power to assign which justice write the opinion for the court.
Yeah.
This is a significant power, as the author of an opinion sets the tone and shapes the legal reasoning, which can have a lasting impact on how the decision is interpreted and applied. Another way they do is a Chief Justice known for their leadership skills can foster a collaborative atmosphere and encourage deliberation among the justices to reach consensus.
That's leadership.
Or at least minimize dissent. The third one says the Chief Justice leads the conference decisions where cases are debated and initial votes are taken. By framing the discussion and presenting their own viewpoint first, the Chief Justice can guide the conversation and potentially influence the other justices' perspectives.
But my question again, how does he influence that? You can't just say my man because the Chief Justice
but he does it from the leadership position. He's not going to exercise or usurp the authority over the opinion from his leadership ability given to him by the position.
But the ability not only that, the influence. Victor will come to you here. The influence part of it, it's a process. It's overt. It's not something you will pronounce that I'm going to influence you. So let's go to you, Victor. Let's hear from you.
All right. What's the gentleman who called earlier? Clarence
Davis.
All right, Clarence. Here's what I want you to know. Here's what I want you to know. The issue that was put before the Supreme Court was not the issue of how the money was being dispersed or how it became dispersed. That was just more of a sleight of hands to kind of, bring some rankles in the discussion. The issue before the Supreme Court was the constitutionality of the position of the speaker and whether the majority had the constitutional right to do the things they did. Beginning and the story. All that thing about, but you eat the money, so you eat the money, so you get the money, so how you bring the money. That was not the issue. All right. Having said that, Terry, yes, the Chief Justice does have the ability to persuade. They all do, as a matter of fact. But the Chief
Right.
Justice in a unique position for many of those reasons you just read. The Chief Justice decides in the chambers how things will go, or in other words, he's the referee if it comes down to that, right? But at the end of the day, every sitting justice in there has his or her opinion. Now, for me to put my opinion backwards in favor of what you're trying to convince me to do, you have to come with the goods. You have to bring the law. You have to bring the precedent. You have to be able to tell me, Mr. Zango, I see what you say on A, B, C, D, but look at it from this vantage point. And if I do not agree with you, I don't vote along with you. And at the end of the day, because we have 5 justices, it may be a little easier to do. But at the end of the day, he has to convince 2 others besides himself. That may not be an easy feat. Now, what I said earlier, and Clarence came and said it after I said that, the president has a second bite at the apple. Because yeah, he's appointing the first one, he will appoint the second one. So if the situation comes down to persuasion, then now the Chief Justice, in his wisdom, has only one person to convince to bring on his side. But that process still has to be played out. It still has to go out.
Thank you. Again, folks, if you're listening, Samson Toll in charge tonight, Mr. Victor B. Smith, good evening to you as well. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Soul comes on Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. I run the show as a board chair and as a
So Mr. Smith
commentator.
is not Mr.
Yeah,
Where's Mr. Smith? Where's Mr. Smith?
yeah, he watching.
My man,
Yeah,
come online, man. Victor.
You
huh?
want to see
He will
Mr.
not
So
come.
first.
He
You
want.
don't
He
trust,
will.
One
The
time
only
you
way.
begin.
don't trust the
The
liberal.
only way Victor will come on when he see Mr. So. He see Mr. So. You're not come on.
My man
So
said, you're
let me.
not calling for me?
No, you're not come on. As, when Alfonso on the come. But anyhow, this is Samson to the most liberal on this show, and the most political guru on this show is also here tonight. Thank you guys for watching. Let's go ahead, Mose. Let's come to you, and I will ask you a question here. This Supreme Court, and from your statement already, you told us that whatever information that you've been getting from this guy seemed to be positive, which I also agree with you. But do you see, with Liberians being on board with this, the fact that first of all he was nominated and accepted through CDC. Second, he came on and decided to told my belief, my statement, to told the Unity Party water against Kofa. Do you see now that many Liberians perhaps might say, this guy here, he's going to continue to carry the Unity Party water. And I believe me, in 2029, no one party will win overwhelmingly the president we had did the last time. It's not going to happen. This time around, I believe it's going to be so narrow. And I don't see Unity Party being so quick to concede. They don't have that fortitude. Unity Party do not have that kind of moral standing to concede when they know they are not winning. They will go all the way. Mo Ali and everybody else will go all the way and showing their talent and what have you. And then they will say, let's go to the court. The question now, Moses, to you. With this guy being successful, being a justice, and being carrying the water for Unity Party, CDC stand a chance if they were to go to court, Moses?
Well, let me just say this based on your question. Now, as I understood you to say that this man was appointed by a CDC-led administration, and later, according to you again, he told the water for Liberty for Unity Party based on his decision just the other day, or based on his opinion the other day. This is someone who I think, in my own judgment, that would not waver of executing the Constitution and interpreting the Constitution correctly. I am of this place where we need someone with that kind of leadership to transform the entire judicial system. You know, the Chief Justice has power over the entire judicial system, and he's the chief of all those courts and what have you, and can make decisions for them. I hope that some of the things that are happening in the court system can be transformed. And I think from what I hear about this man, I think he has the ability to do such, based on the fact that he was appointed by a CDC government, and the last opinion was not, for me, was not for Unity Party, but he was saying what the interpretation of the Constitution meant, that these guys needed to go and they needed to take politics out of there and play their politics. The judicial system does not encourage political activities. And I think that's what he was saying in his opinion. So I pray to God that when he comes in as the head of the court system, that we can see some transformation.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you listen, Moses said, with God. Let me go to Terry. Terry, Moses said, with God. let me go to you, Terry, on a very serious note. On a very serious note, Terry. This guy, if he's and I ask all of you tomorrow also is Liberal Night. So please read more on this guy because we're going to repeat this conversation tomorrow. But I will come with more information. I will do my research on he declined twice to recuse himself. I'd like to know more about it, and whatever controversial that he has been involved with, I will bring it up tomorrow. So please, I ask all of you for us to do our homework and come and let's do justice to the audience as well. Not that we haven't done that, but let me go to Terry. Terry, let me come to you here, and then we can close this thing here. But let me come to you, Terry. This guy, the president, have done his job, selected this person. The president is also going to be selecting, as Victor correctly said, selecting somebody else again to replace this person if he's successful. Yeah. If he's successful and be confirmed. That's two. Unity Party dancing tonight in the nightclub, or what do you think?
Unity Party is to Zanzibar bar right now.
But what's the name again?
Tabula Rasa, Buganias are all party.
I hear them calling to now. Tabula Rasa, Buganias.
They worry now because they play the head and worry. Because if CNNU, because CNNU were holding it, you see, I like CNNU because, and to no offense, that quote. That's why I was looking at Mr. Zango. He gave me all his professional that, the people opinion plus. It don't work in Liberia. That thing do not work in Liberia.
Will work.
It's not going to work.
So, Terry, what you're saying, I don't mean to interrupt, but if you invite these people, my man, you don't go drink small, go soup, pepper soup. The case finished. Let's hear from you.
Look. Liberia is an interesting place. You see, you get a justice ministry, the temple of justice behind you. And you know what can happen to that place, Mr. Azango. You're an experienced man. What I'm saying is that, here is it. The president already got the president he nominated, and she was confirmed by the Senate, already sitting down there. If you recommend somebody that 2, then he they say that 3. That influence already established, it's already there.
Now, Terry, I don't mean to interrupt. But this guy, Victor Smith, he's not known to be follower. This guy, he's seen a dying lamb, he's seen a dying lion moth, and he pulling every time he can pull the lion teeth. He ain't care. If you listen to Victor Smith in Liberia on the radio, you would think, but if sometimes I said, when I'm in Liberia, I tell you, Victor, don't talk to anybody on radio until I leave, I beg you. Because he speaks it the way he sees it. So for him to make this kinds of statement, Terry, that's
this is a political interest.
Okay.
I don't understand the second statement. I think that he is very objective, and I strongly believe that the legal case would change. What legal case?
The
Political interest.
the legal system in Liberia will change under this guy. He's suggesting. But
Oh,
go ahead, Terry. Go
But
ahead.
then you gotta but then you gotta give up more.
That's what. Okay, I mean, they say he said correction. The legal system will change, so that's what he meant. But go
Then you
ahead,
gotta
go ahead.
give us more, Mr. Smith. You gotta give us more. We can't.
You will
What
join us
are
sometime. I hope you will
what
join
Well,
us
that's
what
sometime.
are the areas that this man worked?
but
What
that's
were
the
the
main.
changes?
Oh, hold on, Moses. Let him finish. Hold on, Moses. Let him finish.
No,
Go ahead, Terry.
The area he worked. Where were the changes that took place in those
The
various
man
locations?
and Yaga Koruba don't get along. What one you don't understand yet? Eh? I
hold on,
keep
Terry.
telling you all night.
You gotta
Why
give
would-
us the historicity.
why you wanna hold a confirmation hearing tonight on this man?
Well, I'm not a Senate, but we are the media Senate. And the majority back
Tabula,
to also
tabula reza. Political, but what's the name? Political who? What's
political
the name?
pastor.
No, Terry. What the guy said? Political.
Tabula Rasa Bugania.
Yeah, political Bugania Tabula
Political
Bazaar.
Bugania.
Yeah, okay. So, but
But
anyway,
Mr. Smith, give us more.
okay.
I'm not against it because for me, I already support the establishment, but I don't want a country wherein there will be confusion. Will be in because like the question I labor.
You almost.
What if,
I saw you. Be careful, Terry. I saw you.
I
more
gotta
than
be careful before you get inside me. But labor, so I was asking labor. I said, what if this guy, since the way he declined, what if he were the Chief Justice and like looking at Liberia influence and the bench follow his opinion, but also, agreeing that this whole entire saga was a political thing, that means the Justice Minister opinion would have been right. That means that Richard Kuhn would have still been the purported speaker, and the country would have been divided.
Yeah. Okay.
If he was going to be the Chief Justice. But Senate, you lay this thing to rest and things today. So thanks be to
but
God.
Terry, let me push back. Let me push back a little bit on that. In that, if he was Chief Justice, he most likely would have had a different view. Because I believe, and now I could be wrong, but if you sit at those positions and your colleagues are looking up to you from time to time to come out and make a decision that will bring bring this institution into political laughing stock and what have you, it would have been difficult. But go ahead, finish on, and then we'll have most.
Yeah, well, tonight I'm just playing. I don't want to say the devil advocate, but what I'm saying is that I'm just
we can't we can't put Terry and devil together. Please,
right.
Terry, don't
So
do this.
I'm just speaking from the flip side.
Because Sister Esther is watching. Sister Esther is watching. So you can't we can't have you and devil on the same side, please.
No, they can't be in the same bench.
So I'm speaking from the flip side.
Okay.
How it's going to be because I'm worried about this particular pending cases coming up, the high-profile cases hanging on the docket that I'm sure will end up to the Supreme Court. And if Senator is not there, this guy is there. What would be the opposition position as to how they would look at the Supreme Court bench if they make decisions that the opposition have already concluded in their mind that these cases are witch hunting? Where are we heading? So in my projection, the government, for me, politically, JMB did the right thing politically, but whether if it will august well for him in the coming months, that is what
this whole weekend, the president has been scoring a hard mark, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But let's thank you, Terry. We'll come back to you for your closing. Moses, give us your closing, please. 1 minute.
Let me just say this. I don't think the president appointment was predicated on the high-profile cases that are pending. And in the judicial system, we can't preempt on decisions. That's why it goes through the court that are responsible for interpreting the Constitution to see whether to weigh the evidence and to see what wrong that is wrong. They can identify what is right. So when you talk about you just read the definition, some of those responsibility of the Chief Justice. I believe that the outgoing Chief Justice heard the opinion of every one of those justices, and she must have had a hearing to understand. And that's why it took them that long, I would suspect, to come up with a ruling, because they knew the ruling would have affected the process of the country, and that the ruling should have strictly been on interpreting the Constitution and not dealing with the political aspect of who paid who didn't pay who. That's what I'm convinced on. But I don't live there, but I was there for a short period of time last year, and I witnessed some of these things going on.
Thank you.
So, however, so my thinking here is that this man, I think, has the fortitude, he has the mindset, and I think based on many people's opinion, that he's going to try to transform the judicial system. And I hope and pray that that's happened so that we can balance out our judicial system to the security level.
Thank you, Moses.
And people will not do things with impunity.
Thank you. Terry, let's hear from you. Thank you, Moses. Let's hear from you, Terry. And then Victor will
hear from Terry again?
No, Terry, closing. We're closing, and then you will take us home. Go ahead, Terry.
So, Mr. Moses, I agree with you. Your opinion is worth taking. My own analogy comes from the position where, looking at the Liberia, the perspective of the people. I'm not saying that the president nominated this guy because of the high-profile cases. I'm saying that given the fact of the conditionality surrounding his declined decisions, on major cases in regards to the impasse in the House, could it be that politicians, oppositions could feel indifferent when it comes to him being the Chief Justice, him being selected on the bench? Now, you can obstruct it. That's the president's, the Constitution gives the president the right to nominate, and the man is already sitting on the bench. But what if in the future we have some kind of case that come before him that he had to rule on, especially looking at the high-profile cases on the docket, and he ruled in favor of the prosecution?
Yeah, Moses, let him finish. Let him talk. Go ahead.
And he ended up ruling, and the Supreme Court ended up calling the case, and they rule in favor of the. I know they have independent opinion, blah blah blah, but the Supreme Court ended up giving a ruling that clearly portray the otherwise.
Thank you.
Now, one of the things that I think that we don't have problem now is because apparently CNU was nominated by the former president. So too much talking is not in the country. Even after
yeah, we go again.
Even
why are you going like this again, Terry? Tabula rasa coming. You're going like this. Be careful.
I tell you,
Terry. Be careful.
It won't get inside me.
Victor, thank you guys. Victor, take us home. Victor, take us home, please.
We cannot.
No, Moses, we're finished with you. Moses, you're done. No, Moses, close. Moses, done.
Go ahead, Victor. Because I know you're going to.
Go ahead, Victor.
Yeah, the other situation. The like we said earlier, the Supreme Court justice is just one of 5. So I don't think we should be that concerned about the decision of the Supreme Court. The decision of the Supreme Court comes down and not in your favor,
Period.
The issue that you know how things are doing, it amazes me how you guys on one hand talk about corruption. What happened to do with corruption? Then on the next hand, Samson and Terry, you're talking about you know how things are be doing like people. I mean, you guys, come on, man, you can have it too. The third thing is the incoming the position of Chief Justice is a legacy influence position. Right. People to this day, people from our generation still remember the things that the late James A. Beer hit, the Beer bench, they used to call it, right? Yeah. They have significant influence on things that happen in the country that affect to this day. Now, if this gentleman gets in there and he wants the bench to be wherever he want to be a puppet of the administration, that's level him. He will forever be remembered as that. If it comes to the place where people don't take him seriously, then he will forever be remembered that. But I think he has enough experience, enough forethought, I'm hoping, and enough vision to say, look, I'm at this position. The only way they can remove me from this position if I'm impeached, well, no impeachment can go in that period sometime, under CDC. But here's the thing. What is the country going to think of my leadership after I leave the bench? That is legacy based thought. And I'm hoping that he will have that in his mind as he navigates the Supreme Court, as he deals with a lot of these issues, these judicial reform issues, as he deals with a lot of the other things, the cases that come up. We don't have high profile cases every day. They come once in a while, primarily during the election period. But there are tons of other smaller cases that go through the Supreme Court every day that they have to root on. And so I hope that he take that into consideration and when he's navigating or leading the bench.
Thank you.
Esther Clark.
Thank you, Esther Clark. Thank you, Madam Clark. Thank you. Let's put Victor's uh, dear
Victor,
friend Victor. No disrespect, but Mr. Toshu right and asked me to be on. Oh my goodness, Victor. I'm on Ryu. Vida Zango. I'm on Ryu.
I told that Vida Smith, don't come at me.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, that Vida Smith. Vida Smith. I'm on Ryu before you come on my show now. Begin. Special invitation. All right, dear Vida Smith, will you please?
Give respect what respect is due.
Oh, but I'm writing right now. Blah 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 blah. Dear Vida Smith, please come on my show tomorrow. Period.
No.
Okay. Officially. All right, folks. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Let me say this here. Let me say that, folks. We come out here, we have these conversations, but I would say this quite to all of the panelists here. We start the show 8 o'clock. We're off 10 o'clock.
All right.
If you come late, we're not going to hold you to that, but don't hold us down either. So when we come tomorrow, to come on 7 o'clock my time, the show is over. We're not going to go over. And the reason here is this. Uh, 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 because none of us here can paid. All of us here have responsibility. We got things to do, and some of us. I mean, you saw here the other day, the boss was yelling at me. I know you heard it. Because some issue here with my son, we had to rush. Stuff like so. All of us here have things. Let's try to make it on time and leave on time. But I really, really appreciate all of you when you guys show up like this. We impact the conversation, we impact the audience, and I think they like this type of conversation. We're not going at each other the way other people would do on other show and things like that. We allowed ourselves to be civil, and I respect that. Victor Smith, please join us tomorrow. It's a
I
blessing
say
for you.
Samson, let me say this quickly. I know we'll talk about this tomorrow.
I think Mr. Simple
Also, some kind of news just came across that Maria City government shut down Representative Toll, Prince Toll shop for unpaid taxes. Maybe we can talk about those kind of things tomorrow also.
Representative Prince Toll?
Prince Tolly, Toll, Toles.
He shut down Maria City Hall?
No, they shut down his shop because he didn't pay taxes.
But he's the one who took a Kara's great position, district number 8.
Well, we can talk about those two.
And a unity party man.
Okay.
So now
if you say you sure you don't get my my tabula brazan pound tonight, and when you come here,
you the sedition and got to leave me. That spirit, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Tabula Razan, political Bugania. All right, guys, let me get out of here. I want to thank all of you, please. But tomorrow, let's get ourselves together and be ready for the tough conversation we're gonna have. Thank you guys very much, and I really appreciate it tonight.
Good night, guys.
All right, good night. Okay, good night. Again, folks, Samson to Liberal Pub Radio. I want to thank all of you tonight for tuning in to the Liberal Show tonight. We say thank you very much, but please join us tomorrow where we will continue this conversation, and I will hope my brother and friend, Mr. Smith, will join me. If not, I will give him a call, and maybe he will join us on the phone. But I hope he will be able to join us because by the time we come on, it's late on that side. and tomorrow is Tuesday. It's still working day, so I'm not even too sure Ice King Victor to join us if it's even fair at all. So, but we'll do our best. If he can, then we'll probably extend it. Maybe find a way to have a Saturday show where he will be able to join us as well. Again, Samson told Public, I want to thank all of you that watched this show tonight. Manuel Clark, Victor Smith, and all of those that called in tonight. Thank you very much. Andrew, thank you very much. I appreciate all of you guys' contribution and your contribution to Liberal Public Radio. Please join us again tomorrow where we'll come out here and have a conversation as well. It's been a wonderful, wonderful evening. We'll say good night to all of you. Good night, folks. Samson to Liberal Public Radio.
Tout Italie, oh Dieu Seigneur, à ça. Voyez, Rachel de Kibo, je adé. Oh, après Gogo, Nyaliba, Bagnon, Nyalia pour la femme. Avec Gogo, Nyali. Avec Gogo, Nyali, Stéphane Soko. Amagara koto nyaliba sepan soko ya kwa prawo ayira koto nyaliba amana vere kasawa amagrika vere titi ko pa pa vere sa seri peto ayo yije bayo ye sikre kama pa sisi ye la play oya le koto nyali are bayo e kwa prawo hey koto nyali awo Taba sisi nyoro alena velini paka. Taba sisi nyoro alena velini. Waya alena yule koro bravo. Abile kodo nyali. Yo tu made jogre. Amro alo. Made wa ba bele wa sawake. Wa ba bele. Ambawe mabani. Ama ababe mabali abara suwa gbira bayo abira ni kabale titi baba aja dubo